What is going on, comic book community? It is the end of 2025. This is the last haul of the year for me, and it is a nice little haul. Mostly there's some variant covers, but I have two really big Rogue first appearances, Batman Rogue first appearances that I'm adding to the collection, which I'm extremely stoked about having. I also have a few little knickknacks, some cards, and maybe a wiener. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at this haul and unbox it. Man, I went up. I saw 360 Comics over the weekend, and it was a great time. And I had some books waiting for me for a little bit, and we'll talk about that. Mike, aka Pope of Chillingtown, decided to give this to me for Christmas. I didn't even know about this, and I'm pretty sure it's a piggy bank. Yeah, I think it's piggy bank. It's the Oscar Mayer Wiener truck. Due to the fact that I'm called the Big Beef, so I'm assuming that's why he gave it to me. Fun fact: the company I work for, we actually service these trucks. So I've actually changed the oil, tires, and worked on this truck actually before, which is pretty amazing to think about. And I love Mike because he always put some thoughts into what he's doing, and yeah, this is cool. Pretty sure it's a piggy bank, and you can fill it up and collect change. I don't know if I'll use it, but that's still pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and just put that up here for now. Hope it doesn't fall off and break. So moving on, again, went up to Joe's, had to pick up a bunch of books that were waiting for me, and I went to the storage unit. Of course, had to check out his storage unit. Didn't get anything, but he has a lot of good stuff coming, guys, especially for the new year. So make sure you check it out. He had a couple sets of these. So these are three different cards. Um, I believe it's for the Death in a Family, or the newer version of it that came out in New 52. So he had these trading cards, Red Hood, and Joker. And then oh, sorry, not definitely. It's three Jokers. This one, which is a great trying to focus here. Wow. Which is a Barber and Joker. And I love how he has his hat actually on from the Killing Joke. And then of course, um Batman. And Joker actually has the crowbar, probably taking hits. Batman. So yeah, so I got these three cards for free. Joe actually has a couple more sets of these, so I don't know what he plans on doing with them. I told him he should give them out. Pretty cool. So let's jump into the hall. Let's check out the books for the end of the year. Starting off, we have Justice League Unlimited number 6, a Nathan Sarchetti, if I pronounce his last name right, variant, Star Shravy and Miss Manhunter. You know why I grabbed this one? I think I was thinking of the Hawkgirl one too. I may have grabbed that one. I'm not sure. Maybe in another haul video, but yeah. So I got that. That was sitting in my pile. There were some books that I forgot I claimed uh recently. Daredevil number 58. Now this is a big key. This is the first stunt master to ever show up in comics. That's again stunt master first appearance, first cover appearance. The stunt master spins out. Is he going to be the big bad of Daredevil Born Again season 2? I hope so. I think he's a great villain. I think a lot of people know who he is. But it's also a great addition to my Daredevil collection. I am trying to collect the first 100 issues of Daredevil. Except my thing I'll be able to knock out in the new year. Um, we'll see about issue 1 though. That's gonna be the toughie. This book, I again sitting waiting for me. I forgot I claimed it, and I think this actually came from Pope of Chillitown. Batman issue number 47 from the New 52 run, Harley's Little Black Book, and this is actually the Alex Ross variant. It's not. It's got a little couple ticks, so it's nothing too big. But a near mint plus copy tends to sell pretty well. There is the sketch variant, I believe, as well too, and that sells cheaper, honestly. But yeah, if you ever go in the dollar bins or looking for this book and you find one near mint for under $10, I say grab it. I think it's just a great Alex Ross cover too, as well. This next book is pretty cool. This is a lot of writers, a lot of inkers, and a lot of artists are in this book. This is the Batman Dark Knight Gallery issue number one. Well, probably it's its only issue from January of '96, and this essentially is just, uh, you know, pictures or the posters kind of different characters and Batman and the rogues and everything go on in here by different artists and inkers and writers. I think it's pretty cool. And I originally thought this was a Brian Boland cover. It is not, but I think he is in the book. He does draw at least one page, so that's pretty cool. Um, Laura Kenny Wolverine issue number 9. This is the J. Scott Campbell Just Spectacular Collection variant, which is pretty cool. So earlier in the year, J. Scott Campbell uh, did a variant for every single, I think, Marvel character, and X-23, he drew her great. Look at that. So that is a great addition to the X-23 collection. This book is a book I had. I'm gonna have to start unloading some of this stuff because I have multiple copies of this, and I don't know why I keep buying it. Punisher, Batman, I believe it's from '94. It's a JRJR cover, and I believe this is the first time they team up. So Punisher, I think Jigsaw ends up in Gotham and runs into the Joker, and then Batman ends up trying to stop him or something, and Frank comes along, and those four kind of duke it out, and then Batman and Frank kind of realize, hey, let's do it together. Kind of like what how him and Red, Daredevil does. Frank wants to kill, Batman doesn't. You know how that is. Again, I don't know why I keep picking this book up, but I know I have many copies, and I have to stop buying that book because it makes no sense. Are we gonna get a Batman and Punisher team up? Maybe. Who knows? This next book is really cool. They did this for a lot of the Harley Quinns, and Harley Quinn issue number 21, and this is the Brian Boland and Ryan Shook variant and homage to The Killing Joke. And so I know they've done The Killing Joke. They've done I think Batman 4, which is the original cover with Robin when his first appearance. They've done a Detective 359 versus Barbara Gordon with Harley, along with a few other. I just love collecting these, and it's Brian Boland, and I know. I think it's pretty cool. This next issue is a bit of an underrated key, especially in the Star Wars category, in my opinion. This is Star Wars Dr. Alpha issue number 19, variant edition for the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. Um, so this is actually the first cover appearance of Bo-Katan on the cover. She makes her first comic appearance, actually not a regular comic. It's a smaller, tiny, hard-sized kind of comic that came out in the early 2000s. That's her first appearance. This is her first cover appearance. I think it's very underrated and undervalued. Have to see what her future is in Marvel, but I like the introduction of the character in The Mandalorian. I hope to see her back. And then we have some David Namaraki, if I pronounce his last name right. Wonder Woman issue number 20. I got this just because I thought it was a great Batman Wonder Woman cover. I kind of ship these two together sometimes. I know Catwoman's his one true love, but certain versions, you know, especially like in Justice, like the animated series, I thought it worked well. And I do think in Scott Schneider or Zack Schneider's Justice League, I think that's what he was kind of going towards. But who knows? This book I recently picked up from Joe, Justice League of America issue number 136, and it is not a key, but it is just a awesome Batman punching Joker cover. Always add into the Joker PC as well. I collect any covers that have the Joker on it, especially older ones. And I thought this is a really good addition to that. I think that's pretty cool. So the next book is a book I forgot I picked up, but this is pretty cool. This is Detective Comics 1000, one of the 100 billion gazillion variants that they did, mainly due to the fact that artists did their own variant, and then they have sketch variant, and then they have the Virgin variant and a few other variants. So this is the Neil Adams exclusive, limited to I think 1,500 copies. But again, they have a like they I think a Virgin variant that has nothing on it. Then they have a black and white version of it, and it's a lot. So late great Neil Adams was able to do some of his interesting work. I gotta say, I think it's interesting the way how he draws certain characters in here. I like how Batman's beating up Croc though. Now, I would think Killer Croc's a little bit bigger, almost the same size of Bane, if not bigger, uh, depending on the way you're looking at it. These two books have been sitting at Joe's house for almost half the year. Um, I've been wanting to get these. I got these from Pope of Town I'm enjoying, and what he does is when you claim stuff, I usually see Joe at least once a month, so he will drop books off with Joe since they're about 10 minutes away from each other down the road. Um, these things were hidden, but I knew they were there, and I'm glad I stopped in and finally got them. Star Wars Legacy Zero, The Future of Star Wars. This book has gotten hot in the last couple of months. It's the first cover appearance of Def Talon, and her first story appearance, though, was in issue number 2. That is also a key that you want to grab eventually. So, earlier this year in May, I think around Star Wars Celebration, um, Disney announced that Darth Maul was getting a new animated show, and it's canon, and it is supposedly gonna have a apprentice, and rumor going around, especially in the comics. I believe this is his apprentice. Def Talon is his apprentice. That she may show up. So this book has kind of gained a little bit of traction, and I think Mike had this for 50% off at the one point. So it's like $4. So I said, yeah, why not? I grab that. Well, I also grabbed Star Wars Legacy issue 0.5. Um, just another great cover of her on there. And essentially, Star Wars Legacy kind of rebooted Star Wars for Dark Horse and brought in a lot of characters, especially the kids of Luke and Mara Jade, if I'm pronouncing her name right. So, yeah, did a lot of stuff. Again, issue 1 and 2, the big books, and then throughout the run, they have bigger keys. So always be on the lookout for Star Wars Legacy. And if you ever find a chunk of them, pull them out, check Key Collector, because you never know what you may find. Some of the issues are filler, and some of the issues are actually pretty expensive. So the last two books, we finally made it. And by the way, if you watched all the way to this point, please hit that like button and subscribe. Finally crossed 800 subscribers. That is my New Year's goal. So just gonna keep on pushing away and keep on going to 1,000. So hit the like button and please subscribe, and helps out the channel as always. So these next two big books, it's interesting. I'm kind of having flashbacks to the end of 2024. I did this at the end of 2024. I picked up, you can see them in the background. I picked up Batman 171 for Silver Age Riddler and Batman 180. Is it one? Yeah, 181 first appearance of Poison Ivy last year at the end of 2024. And it's just like, it's just an occurrence now. It's just going to happen every haul at the end of the year. It may end up being exactly true that this happens. I picked up two big Batman Rogue Gallery first appearances for the collection. Let's just jump into it. So both of these books are from Mike Popachilli Town. Mike had, and the one book he's had for a while, the other book he got in this year, I believe, and I shot him up in November and I said, hey, um, can you do a bundle deal with these two? And he did. And I think I got a great price on him. And I know I know he's happy to move inventory, but B, I think he's really happy to see that they're going to a good home, and he knows my collection, and he knows they're gonna stay with me. So, um, let's jump into it. This is Detective Comics, issue number 400. Neil Adams goodness. First appearance of the Man Bat and origin and first appearance. Also, the first solo Batgirl and Robin story, which I'm a bit confused because there's a couple of those, but technically it is. This is about a very good to a very fine minus copy. Obviously, you can tell from looking at the cover. It does have a little bit, I think, on the inside page, a little bit of water uh, stain, which I'm not too worried about. I honestly collect lower grade first big appearances like this, especially in the Silver Age. I'm just, was waiting for a copy. I would prefer to buy these graded, but you know what? If I can buy them raw for a good price and they're from fellow, collectors and sellers who I know good with the grades, and I know I can count on. I'll buy them up. So yeah, the price sticker was 160 on this book, and again, you can't see the I don't have the clear back and board, but still, beautiful book, great add to the collection. First Man Bat. The last book, another Detective Comics, and this actually shows up about what 102 issues before that, technically, but I want to save this for last because I think it's a bit of a bigger book right now. Detective Comics, issue number 298, Batman and Robin, Defer the Mentis of Clayface. Boom. This is the first Silver Age appearance of Clayface, but it's the first Matt Hagen, who is the second Clayface, who actually turns into the clay substance as we see on here, and would be the Clayface that we know from Batman the Animated Series, from other great storytelling. And actually, Matt Hagen, I just think he did this for several decades, if I'm not mistaken. Nah, probably not right. Well, almost. But technically, Matt is the second Clayface, and if I'm not mistaken, there's altogether like 8 different Clayfaces. There's a third Clayface, Lady Clayface, which is the fourth one, and then her and the third Clayface have a son. He's the fifth Clayface, and I think there's a sixth Clayface, and then the seventh is like Todd, who's a Clayface from Catwoman's solo run in 2003. A lot of Clayfaces. Anyway, going back, this book is just huge to me, guys. This does have a detached cover, as well as it's been well loved a little bit, but it's probably about a 2.5 to a 3.0, something that I'm completely fine with. Good luck. You go on eBay right now, you find a 2.5 3.0 graded, you're spending, well over $400 for that. So it's pretty cool. Got the clear back and board. The writing up here is for me. It's on the back and board. It's not on the book. Anyway, so yeah, and we know that Matt Hagen is the Clayface in the new movie coming out next year. I figured this would be a good chance to add this to the collection now instead of wait until later. Because if it comes later, well, guess what? It's gonna be even more expensive. Sticker price was 275 on that. Let's see if I can make this. And honestly, both of them together, I think we bundled out for 360. So I think I did a pretty good deal on those two. And again, shout out to Mike. He's just a great friend and has helped me, grab some big grails and add some great books to the collection. So again, just ending the year with two really big grails to the Rogue Gallery collection. I have a list. As of right now, I don't have too many rogues left to pick up. At least the big ones. Mr. Freeze, that's probably the well, I'm gonna say him and Matt Hatter, Jarvis Tech is gonna be the hardest ones. Matt Hatter's first appearance is Batman, I think 50 or 49, which is also a really great Joker cover, which also is the first appearance of Vicky Vale, which is also well over $1,000 book in low grade. Batman 121, first Mr. Freeze. A 2.5 to a 3.0 sells probably around 2 to 3 grand. So we'll have to see. Of course, I have a few other smaller Batman keys in between that I think are manageable. And certain ones I'm trying to get, like the first modern appearance of Hugo Strange and first modern Deadshot. Those are going to be, I want to get those in 9.8 because they're more modern books in a sense, even though they came out, I think, like in the 80s. Still want to get those in 9.8s. And those are, they're affordable. They're in like the $300-400 range, but still, I'll have to see. But yeah, guys, this is a great haul. I'm happy with what I added to the collection. Some books I completely forgot about, but the Batman Detective Comics first appearances were just the icing on the cake for me at the end of the year, and happy to add those in the collection. Uh, Happy New Year's if I don't make a video after that. Well, I'm gonna make a video after that for sure. I don't know if I'm gonna make another video before the New Year's Day drops. We'll have to see. I am off New Year's Day, so maybe I will make one Wednesday night, upload it Thursday. I'm gonna make a couple different videos. I'm gonna do a goal, channel and collector's goal video. I'm gonna do probably my top 10 favorite pickups of this year. I'm probably gonna do top, pickups I want to get next year going into 2026. So we'll have to see. A lot of videos coming out in the near future. So hit that like button and please subscribe. Like I said, it helps out the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the books. And until next time, guys. If I don't see you, have a safe and happy New Year's. And as always, we'll see you on the next episode of Josh's Comics.